Okay, good morning, everyone. My pleasure to welcome Tom Prendergast back once again, head of the MTA, and Ronnie Hakim, who is president of the New York City Transit Authority, to discuss new items about the MTA. As you know, the MTA is a vital organization to this region, to this state. It is amazing what the MTA does when you think about it. It moves 9 million people on a daily basis. 2/3 of all the bus and rail riders in the nation are moved by the MTA. So it really is an extraordinary operation, and it's very important that we keep it robust and we keep it ahead of the times so that the economy continues to grow. I believe for many years we were lax in that regard. You know, infrastructure is not an exciting word. Investing large sums of money underground is not exciting. Politicians normally don't like to invest a lot of money for projects that are going to be done way in the future. But we neglected our infrastructure. We neglected the investment in the MTA. I believe that. And we are paying the price. We have a decay of our facilities that in some cases is embarrassing. I mean, Penn Station is an embarrassment. Vice President of the United States, Biden, who has a gift for candor, made that point about LaGuardia Airport. He said if you were blindfolded and you landed in LaGuardia Airport and you took off the blindfold, you would think you were in a third world nation. He was right. You know, sometimes someone has to say the king has no clothes. Penn Station is the equivalent to me of LaGuardia Airport. It was just not what New York deserved, but yet it existed for many, many years. So we've gone exactly the opposite way. We have a very aggressive investment plan and a very aggressive rebuilding plan. Starting with Penn Station and Farley Post Office, which is across the street from Penn Station, which they have talked about for decades and decades, and nothing has happened. We're investing in a air train to LaGuardia Airport. We're rebuilding LaGuardia Airport, but we're also investing in a train so you can go from LaGuardia right to the LIRR and come right into Manhattan. We are going out this afternoon to continue to work on a third track for the Long Island Railroad because the Long Island Railroad needs to be more reliable and faster service. East Side Access Tunnel, 2nd Avenue Subway, these are all large development projects that will transform the MTA as we know it. So we're excited about that. A lot of work, a lot of pushing the bureaucracy, a lot of getting things to be done faster than government normally operates. We have a new paradigm that government time doesn't work. We want to move very quickly and get things done quickly. And we are. The timetable for LaGuardia is amazingly fast. The timetable for Penn and Farley is amazingly fast. So we're very excited. Part of this is just modernizing the service and modernizing the buses and the subways and the subway stations. So we have long-term projects, but we also have day-to-day projects where we just want to make the commute better. And we have provided for the funding for that operation also. We're looking at 1,300 new subway cars by the year 2020, 2,000 new buses by the year 2020. And these are not going to be your father's buses. You know, it's a new day. And what the MTA is trying to reach is mobility plus productivity. The days where you get on a bus and you read the newspaper are over, right? And people spend time on a bus, you spend time on a subway car, you spend time in a subway station. You want that time to be productive. If your electronic device is not working, you know, you're out of commission in so many ways. So new buses, new subway cars, new stations, but also modernizing them and updating them so the productivity that New Yorkers are accustomed to is continued through the transit system. With that, let me turn it over to Tom Prendergast, who will give you more details on what we're talking about today. Tom?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Governor Cuomo. As I'm sure most of you know, New York State has committed to $8.3 billion to fund the MTA's $26 billion 2015 through 19 capital program. Under Governor Cuomo's leadership, these investments are helping to build a system and bring it into the 21st century. And today we're here to show you some of the practical implications of the governor's commitment to the MTA, which represents the largest single investment in MTA infrastructure in its history. Today we're proud to introduce the first of more than 2,000 new buses that will hit the streets over the next 5 years. 23 new federally funded buses are coming next month, and 52 more will be introduced by the end of the year. These new buses are a vital part of the state's efforts to transform the MTA and improve the experience that 8.7 million customers experience each and every day in New York City. The buses were made in Minnesota by New Flyer Industries, a company that assembles major components right here in New York State, thanks in large part to the MTA and its capital program. And even better for New York, New Flyer is increasing its New York State contract and opening a facility in Western New York. This facility will create 30 New York State jobs and is scheduled to open later this year in November. The new buses we're introducing today will be first introduced in Queens and then citywide across the entire system. Every one of these new buses will have Wi-Fi and USB charging ports. We're introducing a new look for these buses representing forward movement and innovation. And this rollout is just the beginning. By the end of this year, 200 buses will have digital information screens providing next stop information, service alerts, advertising, and the latest travel information we can provide to customers. These screens will reduce anxiety about missing stops or transfers. They'll help make customers make the best travel choices possible as things occur throughout the system. And they'll be introduced to the existing fleet starting in 2018. Later this year, buses already in the fleet will be retrofitted with Wi-Fi and USB charging ports. And by the end of 2017, all express buses will be retrofitted with Wi-Fi and USB charging ports. By the end of 2018, some 2,800 buses will have Wi-Fi and 1,900 buses will have USB charging ports, bringing a new level of connectivity and convenience to our customers, as more and more customers insist on that connectivity throughout all times of the day. We're also introducing 2 new and important bus safety programs. Through one pilot program, we're equipping 200 buses with what we call the pedestrian turn warning system. Using this system, buses will emit audible voice alerts, both street side and curbside speakers, to alert pedestrians that a bus near them will be turning. 40 buses will have the system by the end of the year, and through another pilot program, we're equipping 100 buses with what we call an active collision avoidance system. This system uses cameras to warn bus operators of excessive lane departures and vehicles that are coming too close to the bus. 20 buses will have this system by the end of the year. Overall, I'm incredibly excited about all the new initiatives and features we're introducing, bringing the system into the 21st century. But here's one of the best parts of the new rollout. These new buses will help meet our changing expectations of our customers. As more and more millennials enter the system and use it daily, as I said before, these are expectations, not desires on their part. Many of the young people using our system today grew up with a smartphone in one hand and a tablet in the other. They're demanding more Wi-Fi, more real-time information, more charging stations, more connectivity, more apps, more screens. They aren't luxury items anymore. Customers expect this level of technology in the systems they use because it's available in every other aspects of their lives. That's why even on an older network like ours, we cannot ignore these expectations. As Governor Cuomo knows, we must work to exceed them. And before I wrap, let me be clear. There are just some of the improvements New York will see thanks to the state's historic investment, which again represents the largest single investment in the MTA's capital program history. Thank you again for joining us, and I now turn this back over to the Governor.
Thank you very much, Tom. So, as you can see, it's an ambitious undertaking. The MTA, as the chairman said, is an old system. How do you take that old system, that old infrastructure, and now modernize it for today's world that demands connectivity? And I think this is a big step down that road. Between the buses, the subways, subway cars, and then the subway platforms themselves. Our goal is to have a seamless network that is connected from the time you step on the bus to the time you exit the subway platform itself.